You know, so let me take this comment from Mr. Tijani. He says, good morning, sister. I would like to debunk the notion that people from wealthy or privileged backgrounds always have a better advantage in life. While having resources can provide a head start, it's not a guarantee of success. Many wealthy individuals today build their fortunes from scratch, starting from nothing. In fact, research shows that most successful entrepreneurs and business leaders are self-made, having overcome obstacles and persevered to achieve their goals. Privilege can be a catalyst, but it's not a determining factor. As long as there's life, there's always a possibility of greatness yet to be accomplished. Do you have any comments you want to take from your own end?
Yeah. We have a couple here.
While we're on the break, you guys are talking about, you know, I'm trying to see how to say this in English, but you know, when you have so much money and you become akpa, you know, when you have wealth, and there's nothing else to have. You have all the money, you have everything money can buy. And then instead of you to be progressive, it brings, like, I went back to this way of self-destruct. I've not really touched on it because sometimes too much money can give you that. When your father has everything, you grew up in such privilege. You're not looking to research the ant. You're not really interested because you're just a lucky go fellow guy. You want to just have like drink, party, and just be okay all of your life. What that happens, you have children who don't even think about wealth, and gradually, before you know it, you give to children that live in poverty. So then they go back to ground zero. So how do you therefore build a sustainable wealth such that when your privileged background gives you that bumper to go up, not to bring your generation down?
Education.
It's not always education.
Yes, it's education. Education is not that you went to school.
Some people are educated, they are rich.
Once I say education, the assumption is the person who went to school did masters. No. Education, when you have there's a program I did with Praise for Wowe about the family system and family system engineering. And it is an intentional journey because some families, the Carnegie family till tomorrow, Rockefeller family till tomorrow, they've had the money across several generations.
Centuries.
And yet they still have children who carry on the legacy because the children are educated to understand the responsibility and the values of the family. As a nation, we can actually create education to help us understand the values of our nation and carry on the legacy of building wealth. We went to China. They had poverty. Poverty with hunchback, the kind of poverty that we are trying to get ourselves. Yes, serious one. And they took a decision to educate themselves and build a system with value. We've discussed it a few times that we said Japan. That Japan has education. But education is not about just going to school, but the value of honoring, bowing down to greet. The fact that everybody must solve a problem. Everything must be neat. We must solve problems. We're not just building businesses to make money. I had a conversation with somebody that was going to talk about a business idea, and I said, this business is not new. This business you want to do is not solving any problem. You are just trying to find a gap to milk money from more people. I said, that's not what I want you to do. I need you to be creative. Think about a business that will solve real problems.
Let me answer.
I was going to say, so for me, the answer is building character, having values, having principles. And when you have that, then it's not money you're chasing. But the truth is, just as I said before we went on the break, what a lot of us have is materialism. We're chasing, that is the only value, that's the only principle that we have, getting more and more and more. I read someone on X had posted, it says, if you look at it, most of the billionaires that we have, or we've had over generations and today, is that it's just a very few of them that made their billions from maybe inventing something or solving a problem for people. And somehow, they didn't go out to be billionaires, but somehow in helping people or inventing something, they made money from it. He says you always see that most of those billionaires are different from those who made their money because they took advantage of the vulnerable. Because there are many billionaires, he says that there are even more than those ones, who the way they made their billions is took advantage of a lapse in judgment of someone, the vulnerable, a system, you take it. So that your drive now is not about value, it's not about purpose, it's about how can I take advantage. And that is what you now push to the next generation. And that is where, when you have stolen from everybody and taken advantage of everybody, then what? Then there's no contentment, there's no happiness, you know. And then you find a billionaire sitting down miserable, and you're wondering, you have everything, why are you miserable? Or you have a billionaire sit down with you that has a lot less and say, you're so rich and so blessed that you have this, that your children are like this.
Surround your table.
So what's important really? What is your character? What do you think is important in this world? Do you build relationships? Or just throw money at people so that they can just surround you and hail you and be your yes man and yes woman? Do you understand? Do you allow yourself to be accountable to people that love you? Or you think you're entitled to everything and anything and your ego is important?
It's
more important than anything.
Yeah, so I personally do not believe in sustainable wealth. I believe in sustainable purpose, because wealth can go. Your family can have vast lands, they have built companies, one government comes in, changes a policy, and everything just goes down the drain. What now sustains you is you coming together to understand what is the purpose for which I am doing this. If your purpose is not bigger than you, then it's not even worth venturing into. So people who have been able to sustain, because with your purpose will still come the addition. The wealth is the addition to the value that you're giving as a virtue of following your purpose. Those people are able to sustain are those who have clear intentions of their purpose. They know where they are going, not just for themselves, for humanity. Because the truth of the matter is we're not here to serve ourselves. We are here to serve the world. We're supposed to be channels. So if you have, and it's not flowing to the right places, it's not flowing, at some point it will become stagnant and it will stop flowing. So people who have sustained are those who are able to have their outreaches. They know that, okay, we are here solving a problem, we're here taking care of this, it's bigger than them. So even when they go and it disappears, because that purpose still lives on, God will always raise people to hold it strong.
Let me ask this question because we're running out of time. Is a better name, like a good name, better than riches? Because somebody will tell you today that
in which
don't
country?
leave me name, because if you leave me name, nice, you open door, but doesn't guarantee that I'll get access. But leave me some riches. I mean, as a young person, I used to. I think I've complained here before that. I appreciate my father's name, no doubt about it. I mean, we could say go certain places. Oh, that but it didn't mean that we have a house in Ikoyi. Doesn't mean that because I know my father had opportunity to get house in Dolphin. I know he had opportunity to get house in Oshapa, London. I knew when those things came, and he was. I mean, though he bought some here and there, but he sold, he was not really, those things did not mean to him. And I know when his friends
it's still for
were buying those places. And I see the value of those places today. And I drive past those places and I'm thinking, Popsy.
Okay. So the reason why a lot of us we even think to have this argument, I even think to ask if a name is less important or more important than wealth and riches is because really our society is a bit warped. We have sing people who have made money in the wrong way and somehow they have sustained it over the years. But there'll come a time where things will change. A name is better. I have seen people that they left the Ikoyi homes too. They don't have those homes today. They don't have those homes today. And unfortunately for them, they don't even have the name. Because the name was not associated with anything good. So it's not a name that it got them money, it got them physical, material things, but it's gone. They didn't teach them how to keep it. They didn't teach them how to sustain it. They didn't understand the importance of having quality relationships. They didn't understand anything, and it's gone. So a name is more enduring than anything. And that's why a good name is very important, because you can have a bad name and it will follow you from generation to generation. So yes, you may look at it as I would rather have had a home, but here you are in your home. Don't mind that. She's in her home.
And there's so many fantastic right now in addition to
so
probably if you had dropped it, you may not have it today.
See, a name any day, anytime is now left for me to work the name. So the difference is now you did not work the name because you also don't like stress, right? Imagine your father's name was my father's name. I will use it. I would have used it. No. I'm getting it, but the way I will use it is not the way she's using it. I would have used it and I would have gotten the things that I needed to get. But for me, the most important thing is the name, because the name will open the doors. And if you have been raised right, on networking and managing that name, it will give you more. And if you have that personal drive to find success,
name does not even need
you.
That's the people who don't understand. That name does not even need her to be hustling like you are hustling. The name has done the work ahead of her. She just needs to step into the door and I'm not talking of her, but I'm not talking of people.
Yes, I believe generally that
a good name.
A good name, obviously, is better than riches. I feel that when you already have a good name, because we know that name is currency, integrity is money.
Yep.
If you have a name that can bring integrity to you,
Forget.
it's similar to what BCC I wanted to say, that a prince that does not know that he's a prince would walk and live like a pauper until you come to the realization that I am a prince.
So true.
The name you have, until you enter into the consciousness that this name is more than silver and gold. When you connect that it's more than silver and gold, you will see the silver and gold everywhere that would come up, which would last much more than any silver and gold that could have been left.
The name is a solid foundation.
That's all we can take.
I can't believe that that's all we discussed
any
today.
comment. You guys
As if we discussed it.
you people not see any
cannot
comments.
believe
We saw comments.
You have too many
Our
things to
fans,
say.
thank you. Most of the youth are into tech. That's from Oluwaseun Latunde. And they make dollars from Nigerians in Nigeria. We are doing so well. Stripe came from Obodo Oyinbo and bought a part of Nigeria created pay stack, which employs Nigerians. So,
Poverty with dignity is when you can afford the basics of human sustenance. In today's Nigeria, poor people have fallen out of the bottom and struggling to stay afloat with basic challenges. I assure you, some unscrupulous clergy have labeled it as sin. Except we are pretending poverty in Nigeria is a terrible thing to be avoided at all costs. It is an offense in Nigeria to be poor. And now unscrupulous clergy have even called poverty a sin. This is why today it's get rich or die trying.
One comment,
this
Samsi
is
says,
Gummy fire.
Yeah, it's the role of government to eliminate extreme forms of poverty. That is what welfare is for, to provide citizens with the basics in times of vulnerability so they can contribute to nation building.
You know whose view I would have loved to hear on this show?
Whose view?
Nima.
Yeah.
That's what we can take on this segment of the show today. Tomorrow is another day. Have a lovely day. See you then. Bye for now.
Bye.